Now, talking about the election campaign, housing has been at the forefront for the first 3 weeks of the campaign. Both Mr Albanese and Peter Dutton have announced different housing policies, but mostly aimed at first home buyers. What do these policies actually mean for the property market? So it's going to help first home buyers. Will it have an impact on investors? Scott Kuru is from Freedom Property Investors. Scott joins us. G'day, Scott.
G'day, Clinton. Yeah, look, thanks for the question. And just before I answer it, I just want to put it in context, because what is the issue facing everyone in Sydney, everyone in the whole of Australia, right? It's the cost of living crisis.
Yep.
30 to 50% of our family costs housing, either rent or our mortgage repayments. If you're trying to get into the market, housing is unaffordable. So this is the problem. So when I look at these policies, I ask the question, how do these policies help that crisis? Now, the crisis comes down because we're not building enough property. So when I look at these policies, I ask myself the question, which policy will drive the building and construction of more supply onto the market to help ease this housing crisis and the cost of living crisis? When I look at Labor's policy, okay, and it's a good policy because what they say is, hey, you only need 5% to get in. That really helps people. What you have to understand, though, is there's a limitation. You've still got to be able to service with the bank 95%. Yeah. So you're going to the bank and you're saying, hey, I want to buy a home. The bank's going to say, can you afford a 95% loan? For most people, the answer is actually no, okay? So we don't know how the banks are going to react to this policy, how many people will qualify. It will help some people, but it will not help all. Now, when I look at the Liberal policy, they're saying we're going to give you, and it works out to be maximum about $8,000 to $10,000 per year back in your tax return as a first home buyer when you build and construct a brand new property only. So it really incentivizes a first-home buyer to build and construct a brand new property, meaning that new person on the market is not competing for the very limited existing housing stock. So that's how I look at both of those two policies. Yes, they do help first-home buyers, either or does help, but which policy actually drives new construction? Now, for me, representing investors, both policies create more demand. Both policies are actually going to help property prices increase. Good for investors, but is it good for society, Clinton?